Hello, today is episode 6 of my personal journey getting to know the Enchanted Map Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reid as illustrated by Jenna Della Bertaglia. Today is May 21st, Thursday, and it's a beautifully cloudy, rainy spring day here. My voice decided to come back a little bit today. It's trying to decide whether it wants to be scratchy and disappear or wants to stay around. So bear with me again as I might be a little hoarse throughout this. So again, I am doing these videos because I want to show people how you can use Oracle cards, in particular the Enchanted Map Oracle card deck, to look at your own stuff. I wanted to say shit, I really did, and I kind of got tongue twisted there. So I'm just going to be natural, and again, I apologize that I do swear a little bit. So I use these cards to look at my own shit and my own stuff, and these videos I hope will give you a snippet of how I do that. Now, this is just a very small snippet of the work that I do. So keep that in mind. You know, these are pretty short videos, and the work that goes on behind the scenes is pretty robust. A lot of journaling, a lot of meditating, a lot of intention and prayer work. So there we have it. Yesterday, I pulled for the first time a card in the upright position, which was wide open. And no, I haven't figured out how to best see this without having another camera on the card. So this was a beautiful card. And I just, in summary, I really resonated with the sentence in the guidebook that said, "You are free to express your uniqueness in the world and share in all the bounty of life's endless possibilities." And I hope that if you're watching these one series after the other, which you don't have to, but it's probably a little easier to watch it in order, you're starting to see what Colette calls a story in motion. And I'm always fascinated by this concept. So when I pull these cards, I'm asking just for this 24 hours. And so, unless I specify otherwise, and tomorrow we're going to do a new moon pull, which I'm going to talk about, you know, the new moon cycle. So that'll be a different time frame. But up until that pull, up until now, I've been doing just for the next 24 hours. And if you think back to the card previous and the card previous, you see how there's a story about what's going on in my life. And so I bring that up because I had asked a couple of days ago about what I need to know about my value. And I got follow the leader in protection. And that was about that gentle nudge to be courageous, to step into my truth, and to be brave and know that there's value in just my life experiences, and that I am enough in and of myself. And then I ask, what's my next right action to help me on this path, being my spiritual journey, and that inner work I'm doing to get to my true authentic self, the reason why I'm here in the first place. And I pull open wide, or wide open. And so, you know, and that talks about, you know, you are free to express your uniqueness, which is what my value is it lies in my uniqueness. Nobody has my story. Nobody has your story. And so that is where our value lies. At least that's my belief. And the other thing that struck me here is all the bounty of life's endless possibilities are yours. And I have this underlying program that there's not enough for me, or other people are going to be successful, other people can live their dream, other people can do inner work and unlock these big truths, but not me. There's this underlying current, and in that, I've had that since a very young age, and I'm aware of it, and I'm so much better with that. And today, at this moment, I do believe that there is abundance for me as well as everybody else, but that I get in the way of that. Being wide open, that card talked about, not staying in constriction. And again, I just love that image. And yes, I did do this a lot yesterday, and this is going to be something that I do now, throughout the day, is just wide open. And I do a lot of stretches to open up my chest cavity in my thoracic area, because I have a lot of skeletal issues around there. So I'm constantly stretching that way, but just throughout the day, just standing like in this pose and opening myself up, is very important for me. So I'm very constricted, this is my default, right? And so just that, it makes a huge difference. So today I thought, well, continuing along with this story in motion, this question kind of comes out of yesterday's read. And today I want to ask, what do I need to know regarding the constrictions I put on myself? Because God's not constricting me, right? Everything's available. It's me. I constrict the landscape. I close the doors and lock them. Nobody else does. That's my ego. That's myself, trying to protect me, yet not really understanding that at the same time, I'm constricting myself to live freely. So what do I need to know regarding the constrictions I put on myself? And so again, for review, there's no wrong way to shuffle these cards. And this, I will tell you, what I'm sharing with you is, what I've learned from Colette. And so other decks by other people may tell you to do it a certain way. If there's a guidebook that comes with your deck of oracle cards, I highly encourage you to read it, because that's where the creator will put what their intentions are with the deck and how they believe the deck will work best with you. So again, this is just for this deck. There's no wrong way to shuffle it. And again, these cards I do find are a little difficult to shuffle. And I have heard that she is coming out with another edition of this deck that may be a little easier to shuffle. So that would be nice, right? And I did some grounding work before I came on today. But while I'm shuffling, I do my Ho'oponopono. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And thank you. And my spirit guides, divine source, God knows when I say that I'm clearing the deck of any other energies that it may have been holding on to from yesterday's reading, or any other energies it may have got caught up in. And then I set my intention, which is equivalent to prayer for me. Today I intend to be my truest self, to speak with honesty, integrity, only from a place of light and love. Remove me from my ego, so that I may be a clear vessel for the message of the divine. What do I need to know regarding the constrictions that I put upon myself? Ooh, very cool card. It is number 38, Heal the Ouch. And it's very cool. And I pulled it upright. Wow, I know I said I was going to work on this, how you can see these cards better. This is just too much. Maybe what I'll do is take a screenshot and then put it up when I post the video so you can see the card better. So again, the first thing I do, because I am so mental and so good at thinking, to the point where sometimes I'm not feeling, I'm thinking I'm feeling, but I'm not really feeling. So for me, the first thing I do is just sit and look at the card. And gosh, I just love this card on many levels. There's a lot going on here. So there's a raccoon with a nurse's hat on with the Red Cross on it, a white hat with a red cross. And there's a fairy on her back, a little fairy. And she's got, and I've decided she's a she, a flower in one hand, and then she looks to be tending to, I think it's like maybe a fox, who's got an ice pack on his head, right? And I've decided he's a he. And there's these beautiful pillar candles in the background, on either side of them. And then there's this misty, foggy, blurry backdrop that's pink, and it looks like images of trees, but it's almost as if you're looking into the spirit realm, like, and you're here and you're in the physical world, but back there you can see it kind of dissolves into what I would say is something that is typically unseen. And I've not noticed this before, but there's like an archway above them. You could just kind of see that in the corner of the card. So there's like a rounded arch that they're underneath. And then there's a bar behind them. And, maybe that's or some kind of a railing. To me, what comes up is that's that dividing line between the physical reality and the ethereal or the unseen. Heal the ouch. It's a tenderness that I feel when I look at this. And interesting, they're sitting on hay or straw, and to me that's kind of itchy, to sit on that. So that's a little uncomfortable there. Very cool. I could sit and look at this card for a very long time. It's one of these cards that the more I look at it, the more dimensional it gets. So it's not just like this drawing on a flat surface that's one or two dimensional. I mean, it's got literally depth to it, the way the art is done. And again, Jenna Della Grataglia is a phenomenal artist and really captures Colette's intuitiveness as she develops these decks. Okay, so I know we're all anxious to see what it says, right? Number 38. And Colette will tell you that the numbers mean nothing. Some of us know that. Wow. To us, they might mean something, but she does not put any specific meaning to the number of the card in this deck. And I believe any of her other decks to this point. The numbers are just to help you find it in the book. Heal the ouch. Forgiveness is the healer of the soul. This is a time for great soothing of the heart, body, mind, and soul, as this card indicates that healing will be prevalent in your life now. If you feel drawn to study the healing arts, you'll be successful in developing your natural capacity to restore others to wellness. However, the message may be that you're being called to change your behaviors in order to heal the earth. Perhaps you'll switch to a cruelty-free diet, eating less meat, or perhaps you'll pay more attention to how much water or electricity you use. You're asked to be conscious of your footprint on the sacred earth and all of life, and to commit to the healing path. The Heal the Ouch card may also be an indicator of old wounds and broken bonds being mended. Reconciliations are possible now. Let bygones be bygones. So, wow. These are absolutely deep. And I think you can see where you ask that question and, I say these aren't predictive, right? So these cards don't predict my future, but you ask that question in that way, you get this card, and then you reflect on that and what really jumped out at you and what resonates with you. And I think you can start to see now how you can go deep and start looking at some deeper aspects of yourself. Hopefully it brings up some of that stuff that's been unconscious that you can't just tap into on your own without some type of tool like this. So what really resonates with me is basically the whole card. However, based on my question, what do I need to know regarding the constrictions I put on myself? And that's all about the old wounds and broken bonds being mended. It's about me forgiving myself. Forgiveness is the healer of the soul. And not as much, I've done forgiveness work with others, but this is about me, right? So this is about me forgiving myself, which is very difficult to do. We talk about it, but to really feel that. And again, not just say, I forgive me. And that is part of my Ho'oponopono prayer. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. And there's a repentance in that, I guess. And but I need to go deeper than that. I need to really move beyond it. Enough already of the old stories that keep me constricted. Enough of those old wounds that pop up and slow me down and want me to, simmer in that. That's actually what's familiar, and so ego will be fine sitting there. What's uncomfortable for ego is when I want to step out of that story and say, you know what, that was the story I came from, but I really don't want to live from there anymore. I'm living from today in this moment forward, where I don't have any wounds today, where I don't have that ouch. This is telling me, maybe you need to look at that a little bit over the next 24 hours and do some writing on that. I did have some, old emotional wounds surface during the day yesterday that caught me a little off guard because, I'm a spiritual motherfucker, right? I've been doing this work for 2 years. So I think that, I'm never going to step back into that, ooh, man, I'm being an asshole and, ego's in control and it's your fault, right? That's just nonsense. And, and I can sit here and pontificate and say, yes, I'm beyond that. But man, it grabbed me in the ass yesterday. And so there I was acting a fool, but here I am today, changing the story, trying to move beyond that story and not being stuck in that. So I think that this was a lot of disclosure for today, and I will leave it at that. So until tomorrow, namaste.